crafty friends, it's Annie at Vintage Lace Journal, and I'm here today with another page and project in our junk journal. Now, I was having a little play around with this piece of paper because, as we know, it's longer than the actual journal, and I was thinking of ways I could fold this to create some pockets. Now, I've not done anything with it yet. It might work, it might fail miserably, but I thought I'd take you along the ride. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try and create a pocket that's going to be like a tuck pocket in this way. And I thought if I just fold over like this, so it's the same size as these pieces here, and then I fold it back, that would nice and easily create a pocket. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm now going to try, and this might work, it might not, as I said, and fold this back again on itself. I'm just going to put a piece of white paper under here, just so you can see what I'm doing with this one sheet. Okay, so I folded it over to the spine, and then I folded it back on itself like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this join down here, so that's the original first fold. I'm going to cut that bit down there. I think I'm actually going to come in with my craft knife and just slice it, probably to about there, about 1.5 inches. So my thinking is then I can then fold this bit back over and create another pocket here. So I'm actually going to go a bit further. For some reason it won't let me go any further, so I'm going to use my scissors. So fold over, fold back, and I'm going to fold on that cut there. So what that's actually done, when I glue this, will create an internal pocket here I can put things inside, but when I glue this, it's also created an external pocket that I can stick something on the outside, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this so you can clearly see what I've done and where the actual lines are. So I'm using tea dye because that's my juiciest pad at the minute. So if I just ink along that bit there, and this internal pocket. It's always just lovely to just play with paper. I mean, it might work, it might not, but you can always call them a happy accident. If you don't like something you've done, you can always change it into something else or glue the whole thing down and just have one pocket. So what I might do now is to create this pocket on the outside is just come in with my, this is a 1-inch hole punch. So I'm going to stick this bit down first of all. So that's going to be stuck at the top and at the bottom. So small piece of glue along the top and another one down the bottom, and obviously don't glue this bit here because that's going to create your pocket. There we go. So that's created the first internal pocket. And if I just grab a, look at what I'm doing. So that there has created a pocket on the inside. Now, because these bits are still loose, that bit I want to just glue down here, because these are the bits I've just kind of like folded. In a way, you could create a double pocket on the outside. So that has created another pocket in here. So I've now got a pocket on the inside, pocket on the outside, and I could actually glue that there and make another pocket there. Now I like it. So again, just having a go, having a play with paper. I'm going to just try and ink this little bit here. It just shows you where the kind of pockets are. I could actually just, I'm just going to let me sneak that in there. It's not good enough. I don't want to end up ruining that. Okay, so this bit here, I should be able to do a little notch out. It's not in the middle, but it doesn't matter. It's all about playing with paper. Right, okay, let's have a little go at this now. So I've got one in here, and that goes to that back bit here. I've got the outside one here, that goes into there. And now if I glue this part down, so I'll need to glue this together, otherwise it will just create a gap. I don't really want a blockage on my glue. So if I glue that together and then just take a little notch out of here, this is why I love paper crafting, because you can just have a little play. And then finally just glue those two sides down. That's created another little flappy pocket there. Oh, I love it. There we go. So we had one piece of paper that's now created 1, 2, and then 3 little pockets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have a little play and start to decorate some of these parts. Now I've been using these lately, so this is the random grungy labels from days gone by. This is from Junk Jar Studio, and there's a whole load. If I just bring these in, I've started to cut some, but I've not got very far. So they're all different types of labels and different types of colours. So there's green ones, red ones, blue ones, black ones, and they're all got that vintagey vibe. Really, really lovely. So lots of different colourways on those. So they're random grungy labels, and I'm going to use those just to decorate my pockets. I'm just going to pop a clip on here just to hold that back, and just pop something heavy on there. I might leave this as an actual flap. I quite like that as a flap. It's quite hard working in this journal because it's quite tightly bound. Okay, so that's where we've created our pockets. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ink all around the edges of here, just so it's got that brown theme. And then I'm going to come along with these labels, and I'm just going to layer up the pockets on different parts in here. Might be easier actually if I just do that. Just because it's paper, it's quite hard to ink, because the sides just sort of ruffle up. I'm just going to go across the bottom there. There we go. So when it's out, it will look like that. It's more of an orangey brown. This is like a burnt brown than it is a brown. So obviously I could use these to put in the pockets anyway, because they just look quite cool on their own. And I'm just going to come around with some of these just to decorate the page itself. And keeping in with the theme. I bought myself one of these, I haven't used these in ages. Just a glue runner. It's going to come out a little bit. I just remembered how handy they are just to stick things down. And on this bit here, I'm just going to layer up some of those stickers, labels. There's a good thing with these as well, just bear in mind obviously once you stick them down they will stay stuck down. There's no kind of movability in these. They're quite nice just layer up there. Okay, so this top one here, it's too big. I might just use a different colour. And you can always stamp alongside these as well. I had some lace left over from the other day from a project. So I'm just going to pop a bit of lace on there first. And then just keep putting the labels. And the good thing about, like I say before, about any kind of digitals is once you've got them, they're yours. Just keep printing and printing as much as you like. Quite like that there. There we go. Then I'm going to create a little tag to go inside here and another little tag just to go inside there. Don't quite like that. Just going to find another piece of paper to... Got lots of these 6x6 pads that need using up. Ooh, like that. And I can decorate that as well as a tag. There we go. So I would say that this tag on the inside, we don't want it to be too long. So I'm going to make it 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So just bring my mat in. And just trim that down. So 3 inches long by 1.5. Probably could have made that a little bigger, but that's fine. So I'm just going to bring in my trusty label maker. This is as small as it does, is 1.5. So pop that right in and chop. And I've got an awesome little tag, and that will fit in there. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. So put that back in. So easy to make tags. You can use scrapbook papers, cardboard, anything. There we go. Let's get rid of those bits. And then that can just be going in there. And actually when the whole journal is done, it'll look quite nice. Obviously this bit will be folded in to have that little bit of thing popping out the side. I might actually just put another little one in there. So I'm going to make that 1.5 by 2. So 1.5. Just make that a little bit shorter. I'm going to keep that in because I quite like that colour. I might make it 2.25. I don't know if this is going to work in here. Let's give it a go. Yeah. How cute is that? And that can just go in there. And then that way, all 3 tags are the same. So what I'll do with them is I'll add a little eyelet. Gold. I think I'm going to have gold today. I think an eyelet just finishes off tags. You can also use the little reinforcers. They're quite nice to use for a change. I think it just finishes it off nicely. And then the back of these is just white, so they can be journaled on as you wish. Oop. It's alive. Oh. Third time lucky. There we go. And last one. I like the way this paper's got some like ink writing on it. Quite pretty. There we go. So what I'll do with these is I'll just use this grey ink. So it's a bit dark. It's not, you know, as dark as black, but it just gives that nicer kind of finish. I don't actually know if I've got grey pad. Let's have a bit look. There we go. So if you can see, that just gives it's a different layer of texture. Rather than just using brown all the time. That one's called pumice stone. So about 6 months ago, I started every time I got paid is to just buy new distress ink. Because obviously they are fairly expensive. But it's an investment, because obviously once you've got these, they will last ages in themselves anyway if you store them correctly. I store them on a shelf, stacked on top of each other, because they do stack really well. One of my jobs is actually to put a label on the front so I can see what they are. But yeah, you can also buy the refills for them. Okay, so I'm just going to take these little labels and I'm just going to pop a little something on them just to make them a little bit more prettier. So I'm going to come into my box of Hessian kind of stuff I've got in here. Let's use some of this. Just working out which colour to use. I always like the orange and brown when I'm doing vintagey field projects. This was from fall collection at the range. 10 metres, it's lasted me a very long time. So I always put short end to short end, and I always put the joined end through. Just be careful, because this is, if you're not using card, it will rip if you try and pull it too hard. And then my little one. Again, feed the closed end through. And then last one. Little fiddly job. I try and cut them to the size I'm going to need them, rather than making them really long and then chopping the ends off, because I sometimes feel that's such a waste. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just come in with my little labels. So I'm going to find the right kind of colour combinations. It's a bit too light, like a browny kind of colour. You could almost create little pockets on these if you wanted to. And never forget, when you're doing things like this, you can always put them on sideways as well as just straight down the bottom. So for instance, that could go that way there. Go on the top. So nice and quick using these. Slide there. And I'm just going to come in with my stamps. I can find them. So I just like to add a little bit of extra interest. My stamp block and just some black ink. I'm just going to stamp a little something on there. So I got this one from a charity shop the other day. It's quite cute. Little bird. Just gives a little bit of extra interest. And I quite like this one, which is a little key. I think something like £2 from a charity shop. There we go. So that's just giving those tags a little bit of something extra. So pop that one in there. And then this one can go in the pocket we created there. And a little diddy tag just to go in that pocket at the top. And the last thing I'm going to do is just add something to this area just at the top here, because it's quite blank. So I'm just going to layer up excuse me, another couple of these little labels, just to give a little bit of interest on that top edge. To take off that stark whiteness. Put that one there. And that one there. And there we go. So with that foldable piece of paper we had on the edge, we folded it over and created ourselves 1, 2, 3 tuck spots or pockets for those little tags to go in. So that's a super simple way you can decorate one of your pages in your junk journal. So I hope this has been really useful for you again today. Nice little quick video. Don't forget to like and share. Tell your friends about Vintage Lace Journal if you like what I'm doing. Let your friends know about my channel. And also follow me on Instagram where I do shorter projects there as well. Have a fantastic week everybody, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.